Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this tutorial series, we are creating this photography website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now this is our progress as of now. In the previous video, we created this our work and this contact section. Now in this video, we will create this slider for the testimonials, and we'll also create this footer. So let's get started. Now for the slider, we're going to use a library called Swiper.js. So let's get the CDN of Swiper.js. So you can just Google for Swiper.js and you'll find this website called swiperjs.com. So let's go to the website and let's click on Get Started. And here are the steps for installation. Let's scroll down and let's search for CDN, and this is the link for the CDN. So let's copy these lines of code from here and let's go back and let's go to the HTML file. And let's paste it over here. Alright, now let's go ahead and create the HTML for the slider. So let's go after the gallery section. So here let's create a section and let's give it an ID of testimonials. And let's add this inside a division with a class of content container. And for the heading, let's go ahead and type what our clients say. And this is how it looks. Now if we go back to the original design, here we can see that this testimonial section is inside a white background. So for all the other sections, we have this dark background and this white text. But for this section, we need to have black text and white background. So for that, let's go back and here for the section, let's also add a class called light, and we will style this separately in the CSS. Now for adding a slider using Swiper.js, we need to follow some HTML structure. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a main container division. So let's give it a class of Swiper. Now in this division, we need to create another wrapper division. So let's give it a class of Swiper wrapper. Now in this, we need to create the slides. So for the slides, let's give it a class of Swiper slide. Now in this Swiper slide, we need to create this structure. So let's add this inside a division with a class of testimonial. So let's tap testimonial over here. Now in the testimonial, the first thing we need to have is the paragraph. So I'll just go ahead and copy this text from here. And I'll just paste it over here inside the paragraph. And now the next thing we need to have is the client info. So here we have the name and the image. So let's create a division with a class of client info. And first of all, let's create an img tag. And for the source, let's type images / and we have client1.jpg. And the next thing is the name. So let's create a paragraph with the class of client name. And here let's add the name. So I'll just add a name over here. And for the image, let's also give it a class so that we can style it in CSS. And let's give it a class of client photo. Right now, let's go ahead and copy and paste this Swiper slide division. And let's paste it 2 more times because we have 3 testimonials. So let's get the text of the second testimonial. And here for the image, let's tap client2.jpg. And for the name, let's get the name. So the second name is Sarah Smith. So let's add that over here. And let's go ahead and add the third testimonial. And for the image, let's tap client3.jpg. And for the name, we have Michael Johnson. And here we can see that we also have this pagination displayed over here. So let's add that over here. So we need to go outside this Swiper slide and then outside this division with the class of Swiper wrapper. And here we need to create another division and we need to give it a class of Swiper pagination. You can give any class you want over here, but you need to add the same class in the JavaScript. And we can simply leave it blank. And let's go ahead and add a comment over here. Let's tap end of testimonials section. And now if we go back to our website, this is how this page looks right now. So let's go ahead and add some CSS. So here let's create a comment. I'll just tap testimonials. And first of all, let's select the image. So let's tap testimonial, client photo, and let's set the width to 80 pixels and the height to 80 pixels as well. And let's set the object fit to cover so that it has the correct proportions. And let's set the border radius to 50% so that it has a round shape. And here we can see we have this image. Now we want to have this image on the left side and this text on the right side. So let's target the container division. So let's tap testimonial, and we have this container division with a class of client info. So let's tap client info, and let's set the display to flex so that the items are one next to the other, and let's add a gap of 30 pixels, and this is how it looks. Now let's target the client name. So we have this paragraph with the class of client name. So let's tap testimonial, client name, and let's set the font weight to bold and font size to 20 pixels. Now let's also add some padding top and bottom for the swiper wrapper, which is the main wrapper division for the slider. So I'll just add it over here. So I'll just have swiper wrapper, and let's type padding block, which is padding top and bottom to 30 pixels. Now the next thing we will do is we need to have this background color set as white for this section and the text color set as black. So let's go back, and if we go to the HTML file, here we can see that we have added a class called light for this section. So here let's type section dot light. So whenever we have a section with a class of light, we want to set the background color to white and the color of the text to black. And now we can see this is how it looks. Now we need to change the color of this underline for this heading as well. So let's go back. If you go to this CSS for the H2, here we can see that for the H2 after element we have this background color set to this yellow color. So we need to set the color to a different color. So let's scroll down, and here let's type section dot light. So when we have the light class, we'll tap H2 : after, and let's set the background color to, let's try red, and this is how it looks. Right now let's go ahead and add the functionality of this slider. So let's go back and let's go to the HTML file, and if you scroll down, here we can see that we have added the link and the script of the swiper.js library. Now let's add the JavaScript of the swiper.js right here. So I'll just create a script tag for that. Now what we need to do is we need to create a constant, and let's name it swiper, and it should be equal to a new swiper. And here we need to add the options. So the first thing is the class name. So if you scroll up, here we can see for the slider we have given it a class name of swiper. So we need to select that over here. So let's tap dot swiper, and then we need to add some options. So let's create an object, and the first thing we will do is add an autoplay, and let's set the delay of 5000 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds the testimonials slide will change. And let's also add the pagination. So let's tap pagination, and here for the element, so let's tap L, and we need to set it to the class that we created. So here we can see we have a class of swiper pagination. So let's add that over here, dot swiper pagination, and let's add one more option called dynamic bullets, and let's set it to true. And now if we go back, here we can see we have this slider and we have these bullets over here, and the functionality is working all right. So with that we have completed creating the slider for our website. Now let's go ahead and create the footer. So here after the contact section, let's create a footer element, and let's create a paragraph, and here we'll just add some text. So I'll just copy this text from here, and let's paste it over here. And now let's add some basic styles for this. So let's go to the style.css file, and here let's type footer, and let's tap footer, and let's set the background color to black. Let's set the color of the text to white. Let's add a padding of 8 pixels, 32 pixels, and let's set the text align to center. And this is the footer. So with that, we have completed designing the footer and the testimonial section. So that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.